Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy 94prynce.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do, give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Yeah, it's 94prynce. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Born and raised. You feel me? Raised Vancouver, but born and raised. And I'm just one of the funniest and craziest DJs in Portland, turned hip hop artist too at the same time. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And what got you into music initially?
Initially, my mom was an evangelist, so I had me and my brother, we had to play instruments and sing, and I was in choir. A lot of people who knew me grew up with the choir stuff. But then the DJing was I threw a lot of house parties and got tired of paying DJs.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's as simple as it got.
Okay, hell yeah. Oh, what instruments do you play?
I haven't played a lot right now, but I used to play piano.
Okay.
I had a master tutor, and then technically, I was a second alto, first tenor. I was in choir. I actually had a professional trainer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he did opera, so I learned how to sing correctly and everything like that.
Oh hell yeah!
For a while, didn't do it. Then I ruined it with liquor and smoking. But I did do it. So yeah, but piano, vocalization, and even just controllers. I love my NS3s and stuff like that, and then CDJs and stuff like that as well. But yeah.
Okay. And how long did you do DJing until you got into making your own music?
They were maybe a couple months.
Okay, so that was a short run until you found it.
Yeah, no, I actually started doing music first. I was doing house parties. It was a lot of house parties first, just trying to make a couple $5 here and there, and then it became one of those things where we started hosting events at the 6 West, which used to be here in Vancouver, as a hip hop artist, just performing music and stuff like that. But eventually, it was like, hey, we need a DJ, and I also needed a DJ because the house parties were getting expensive.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was like, all right, we're gonna learn how to DJ, I guess.
Okay, hell yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into a little more of what you're doing with music now, I do have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on.
Yeah.
This first one is one we ask early. It's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
The first album I ever bought was 50 Cent, Get Rich, Die Trying.
Okay, hell yeah. Quality album. Quality.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was specifically one you wanted to go to?
First one I went to, shout out to Unc Portland George. I went to Too Short live in Portland.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Hell yeah. Who else was performing with them?
I couldn't even tell you. I was a young one.
Okay.
It was Richie Quavo. I think he was on that show. That's family right there. I think he was on that show. But yeah, Roseland Theater, Too Short live. This is early 2000. 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
it wasn't my first concert, but it was the first hip hop concert I went to. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody else has mentioned that show before too.
Oh, that was an iconic show. That was fun.
Yeah. That seemed like it would be a pretty big deal for here for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and then before we officially get into it, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
Music or the shows, yeah, and the music, yeah, but the music was more so like, it's a funny story. A friend's daughter that I'm taking care of, when she was 8, when she was 10, I picked her up from school, and the kids knew who I was.
Whoa.
Yeah, she hated it. Now she loves it. But now she loves it because they see the Instagram page, they see the parties. They're like, yeah, you get to go party with friends and all that sometimes. And yeah, because she's a teenager now. But it's I knew I was like taking it seriously when people were stopping me in Portland and Vancouver and was like, hey, like you're 94, ain't you? And I'm like, yeah, I am with my kids. What we doing? You know? Yeah, what we doing? Like, and it's gotten me into a lot of free stuff. So I was like, that's where I was like, okay, yeah, either the name or the brand is doing something, or I'm doing good with my quality of work.
Yeah,
something's happening. Either it's the promotion or it's the content. Something's happening, but we gotta take this a lot more seriously.
Hell yeah, no, I could dig that for sure.
Yeah.
But now let's go ahead and let's get into you in the present day.
Yeah.
We are going to get a super easy one out of the way. How'd you pick the name?
My name is Principe Antonio. In Spanish, that's Prince Anthony.
Okay.
So it's Prince has always been my name. Back then, too, I didn't really like Tony growing up, but that's what people were calling me was Tony. I didn't really like it because I got the Tony the Tiger, Tony Hawk jokes. And then when I told him it was Prince, Purple Rain and all that stuff like that. Initially, I started a clothing line before I started a label.
Okay.
The clothing line was called Spoiled Prince. If you look at the Black Pioneers logo currently, the label is the original Spoiled Prince logo.
Oh, gotcha.
Which was inspired by Bebe's Kids, the movie. So initially I started that. So it's always been a Prince in the conversation. So it was Spoiled Prince. But then during a whole rebrand, I got locked up for a little bit, came out, a whole new rebrand. I realized I wasn't the churchy Christian kid that I was trying to portray.
Yeah.
And that, we might as well, if I'm going to go into this music thing seriously, people are going to look it up and they're going to see the old, and they're going to be like, well, Spoiled Prince, you ain't really that, you ain't doing that now, huh?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? We just go. I was born in 1994, and my name is Prince. 94 Prince. We needed something to get on the flyer. That was it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm terrible at names. So I was just like, year, date. Come on.
Man, hey, it's definitely one of those things where it's like sometimes you just kind of got to go with something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it works.
It worked.
It's
it
easy,
blended.
it sticks, and like.
I was trying to go hard with it too. It was supposed to be like BP 94 Prince type stuff. I was trying to make it all gangster, and I was like, nah, it's not. Ain't that. Just go 94 Prince. Just stay simple.
Well, hey, if it works and it's going for you.
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process a little bit. And we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning. So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music. What are some of the things you do to get a track started?
I freestyle.
Okay.
I freestyle for a little bit, but then in the mix of freestyling, I go through my messages. And I'm a toxic individual, unfortunately, but I go through my messages of old exes and stuff like that. And then I speak about it, and or I go through, conversations I've had with friends. A lot of my friends are in prison, so some of the music is, when you hear it's kind of raunchy, but you're like, that's funny. And I can see it happen, if that makes sense. Yeah. So a lot of my messages are past life conversations, stuff like things that have actually happened, and that I can actually speak about now. And that's pretty much it. And then how I break it down is I've learned that if it's going to be something where it has to be a little bit more logical, a little bit more intense, a little bit more lyrical, they stay at the 16s. For the verses, but if it's something that I know I want to be popping in the club, and I have a lot of club music, so if it's something I want to be in the club, I want to be able to DJ in the club myself and stand next to the standards of what I'm supposed to be DJing, keep that just 8 bars, let that be just a smooth ride along on the verse and keep that going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And when it comes to like beat selection and things like that, do you just got stuff in the vault? Like, do you have people
yes,
beats for you?
yeah. When I first started the company, I started it with Rose Gold Sean. That's my cousin. I started with Maki Music. That's my he was almost my cousin-in-law. And then I started it with Jacob. Man, that's my best friend damn near. Cole Leroy TGC. Rose Gold and me. Rose Gold recorded 3 of the first songs I ever made. My cousin Sean did that. He made all the beats. Cole Leroy made all my beats. Rich James, my uncle. Shout out to Rich James. Murder Facts made all my beats. I go specifically to those 3 people because I pay within my family. I believe families should build together. So those are my uncles, my cousins, my Jacob low key, my cousin Katrina's is his wife. So it's all within the family. The label was started with cousins.
Gotcha.
To be honest, so we're like second, third generation of Portland rapper cousins. So, but yeah, I get all my stuff from my cousins. And really, at first it was a lot of club stuff because I was young.
Yeah.
Fresh out of college, fresh out of jail too. So I was ready to party and rebirth myself and act different. And then as we got older, time starts wising up. A lot of my music's kind of been becoming more like soulful, kind of more in like John Legend, Rick Ross, or even on the West Coast side, more like a Blast and Beano type of music. So it's becoming a little bit more. Starting to get a little bit more money now, so I'm starting to be able to speak about things that I never was able to speak about. But,
Well, that, and I think as you get older, you start to understand things a little better, so you can put that message out.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be rapping about paying taxes, but
No, I feel you. And actually, that's a good segue into talking about your music. So I've got some notes here on that. I went and checked it out. You've got, first of all, a grip of music.
Oh yeah,
going all the way back to 2017.
Oh, even before then, you just ain't checked out the SoundCloud.
Oh, I'm sure. But I stuck to Spotify and I listened to all of it.
Thank
every single track. Every single track. You're gonna have a bump in plays for me today. It was cool, and it's cool because everything you just said, I did notice. Like, it started out kind of more like trappy R&B-ish with a little more like dance vibes. Your beats are often very West Coast influenced. They have that for sure. And you've also worked with so many people. Your feature list is like crazy. Like my past guest list. You know what I mean? It's just through the roof. But then I noticed in 2021. You took a little bit of a turn. It started to get a little more tough. Your sound got a little more of a bite to it.
Yeah.
By 2022, your music leveled out, and it had this. I actually put it right here. It started to have a lot of soul in it. It started to have a lot of like emotion and passion driven.
Yeah. No, I mean it definitely when we first started. Like I said, I threw a lot of parties, so I wanted party music, and I threw a lot of parties here in Vancouver. Shout out to Nigel. He's a known local kid here, adult now, men now. My fault, but he used to throw hella parties. We used to come throw hella. I used to be on the iPad. I knew what to play, what's gonna make the girls dance. You feel me? And so when I started rapping, it was like we were rapping out of 6 West, which now I think is like a burger grill spot. Right there on Main. But we were rapping out of 6 West throwing concerts. Shout out to Gabe. He put us onto that. So I knew that I wanted women to dance. I didn't care about men. I was like, I just want women to dance. That's just the vibe. My granddaddy was a pimp. My brother's a pimp. So I knew like women attract men. So if I promote towards women, the music's gonna come in. So I gotta make raunchy rap music. And then some of the shit I did as a kid, it kind of like the time for federal shit kind of was like woo, so I was able to finally speak some of the shit up that I was able to do, like and allegedly but I was able to do allegedly, and that's when that raunchy shit came out. But that's also too, I'll be honest with you, was it was a time, if you don't know, I'm connected to a lot of people in Seattle, a lot of people in LA, and during that time, one of my cousins, 2017, my cousin, he ended up doing a double homicide hit. And it was just an angry moment for me because that was like my twin. That's my best friend, free ring rat. But it was a dark time, and I was also having a son too at the same time. So I was angry about a lot of stuff that was going on. And we had just signed Bust Down Fredo and Jay Mula and P. Willie to the team too. So the music And as I was able to start saying, okay, I won't get looked at by the feds if I do this now.
Yeah.
As I started getting closer to that stuff, that's when you started seeing the features pop up as well, where I was able to start like, hey, this is what I was doing behind closed doors, kind of, you know, we can talk about it now. You feel me? We can get into it. And then with Bust Down Fredo as his breakout, you know, I started jumping on him with the features and stuff going back to back, because it's like, that's family right there. His son's my godson. So like, you know, that's family. So whatever music he was putting out, I was like, I can match energy because we can talk about it now. So that's where the aggressive stuff came out of. But the soulfulness came out of the fact that like I was touching money, I just didn't know what to do with the money.
Yeah.
And then when me and bro don't funk with each other right now, but he's still my cousin. But long live JJ put us on to a financial advisor. And as we were talking about behind scenes, you know, you start building your team up, people start coming to you. When the financial advisor showed up, he started talking about things that I didn't even know about, like stocks, bonds, you know, LLCs and all this stuff. He started structuring us and telling us just like free game. Once you start getting that free game put into place, I was able to be like, why am I rapping so mad when I got Versace on my feet and I just caught me a Tesla, and, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like I just spent 15 grand to bring Sada Baby to Fresno, you know, like, wait, why am I mad? You know, why am I mad? And so somebody was like, yeah, why are you mad? And you used to sing. You over here screaming on the mic. You know, like, why are you mad? And it was my older brother, Diamond Gang Zay. He was like, why are you mad? Like you used to sing in the choir, you was happy, and I was like, I got some shit on my shoulder. But no, the soulfulness just came in because it was just like Blast and Bino hit, and I used to think that style of West Coast hip hop was low key dead, and but it was something that just reminded me of just like massage therapy in a way. It was just something that just was relaxing, and that was something that I just vibed towards. Even on the Portland hip hop side, like I can tell you, we can go hours for hours on Portland hip hop and everything that I know about it. But even on them, like that sound was here in Portland, and it was just something that I always vibe with. Even growing up, one of my favorite songs, T.I., Jazzy Faye, Let's Get Away. I vibe with that shit all the time. So it wasn't just West Coast. And I could list you every song that Rick Ross and John Legend ever did that I'm like, this was the song, you know? Just because it just vibe was something that you could just, you know, if you want to go cruising in the car, you could cruise in the car. If you want to go party, you could party. If you want to sit down and have a house party, it's the same vibe. And that's what's like, it's universal. I'm not trying to make pop music. I'm just trying to make something that if I go to Mexico and play this in front of a couple Latinas, they're going to be like, let's go. You know? And so,
You know, and it's cool because definitely, like I said, by the time you hit 2023, your album 16s and was it 334?
Yeah, no, 304.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure my iPad didn't type it wrong.
Yeah, no, you did.
That album, it's definitely some of my favorite stuff of yours.
Yeah, like, appreciate it.
It felt really complete. It felt really put together, and it felt like I said, it came from a place. Like your story.
I was holding on to that too.
Damn.
For years.
Well, it like I said, it just had this feeling that like felt really put together.
Yeah.
But, your most recent track also, Ooh Wee with how do you say?
PDX Queez. That's my baby brother. Yeah.
I definitely didn't. I just didn't want to mess that up. That one was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a vibe. I just the talk box in the back, the funkiness of the synths, and y'all were just locked in. Also, I appreciate the guitar solo at the end.
Yeah, that's my engineer too. That's
hell yeah.
Yeah, I asked my engineer to do that. Yeah,
that was just such a cool touch because like you don't see that a lot, especially like now that type of music. So like to get a 4-minute track to have like a proper instrument moment in it, and just the whole time. It was just a really good vibe.
I love seeing bands perform with artists. That was just something I loved to see, and it was something that I always wanted. I even was talking to a woman for a violinist for one of the songs that is about to come out. I was talking to a saxophonist for one of the songs. I love instrumentation being included. I feel like when you can just relax and vibe, like I grew up off Kenny G. Like my mom was like playing Kenny G in the house, so anybody who could just play a saxophone for 3 minutes straight and not kill the vibe, like that was something that I was like, we got to implement that. I just want it to be a vibe.
Man, saxophone is getting its heyday right now. Yeah. Like, it had a moment back in time where everybody got it, and then it kind of wasn't there for a minute. Yeah. Now everybody I'm talking to is just like, we need more saxophone.
Yeah,
it's just such a powerful
Where them cowbells at, you know?
Exactly. But I do this bit where I pick out a track that I liked.
Okay,
I point it out for a second. And like I said, I went through everything.
Oh, good.
And I ended up landing on the track Not I.
Okay,
Back Acting Stupid. Yeah, with Jay Mula and Making Music.
Yeah.
And it just, first of all, that beat was nasty. the bass on it was just
that was Jay Mula's
so funky.
Yeah, Jay Mula put me onto that one.
And y'all were cutting it up. Like everybody's verse was super solid. It was all like, just there were different vibes all the way through.
We used to be in Johnny K's studio right around the corner from here, man. Just 8 hours deep, just smoking and drinking with each other, just trying to knock it out.
Yep.
Man.
And the hook.
Oh yeah.
Like it just
love Maki for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was
that was a freestyle.
Oh damn.
Yeah, most of us freestyle. We did punch-ins. We're known for punch-ins, but like, we do come in, we knock out 4 bars, like it, punch in and do it again. That's how we did that.
Oh yeah, I dig that. But I am curious to know now, what are some of your favorite tracks of yours to perform?
To perform or just to play? Because it's completely different.
The perform is usually the question.
Running Back is a crowd favorite. They know the words. That's I'll drive down the street and I'll hear somebody scream "Hey!" So I know they listen to my shit. 2K Thuder is one of my most popular ones here in Portland. A lot of people love that song. And then for me personally, it's a new one. 2K23. I have a concert version of that, where without the individual talking, the woman talking, and my cousin talking. Reem, shout out to Reem, but without them talking, I have a concert version of that where I'm screaming, "Let me vibe with you." You know, I'm like all that. So that's one of my favorite ones because it low key kind of gets the crowd like we in a jazzy type of So before I get raunchy and everything like that, let me open up with that one. So those are my top 3. But what a lot of people don't know unless you go to my concert, we pay respects to the fallen. Dre Steves was somebody really close to me. Dre Steves is also my son's cousin. He's also Jay Mula's cousin as well. So one of my favorite times is we start the show off playing Big Bags by Dre Steves and Badman Bino. Always just paying respects, and that always gets the crowd hyped because it's a Portland legend.
Hell yeah. All right, and then let's take a moment and let's talk about some new music you're working on. You got anything cooking at the moment?
Man, yeah, always. Always. Yeah. You're not going to see nothing until after I get back from Mexico, so you're not going to see nothing until November. Okay. But
what can we look forward to? Like,
man, I just dropped three songs with Jay Ryan that are about to come out, waiting on him, and you're probably going to get the best verses that I have ever given lyrically.
Damn.
Even how smooth I am. Like I used to talk hella like screaming in the mic. No, this time I'm like super smooth with it. You're gonna see somebody who has some tenure basically in the game right now, like as far as lyrically goes. And shout out to Jay Ryan for being able to follow and match my energy and a lot of the beats too. So me and him have kind of like in sync with what we've been doing. It's been crazy. So shout out to Jay Ryan. And then shout out to my brother, of course, Diamond Gang Zay and FH Ronan.
Shout out FH Ronan.
Yeah, that's family, the AMG boys, man. I got a song with them. AMG hopefully is about to be dropped soon. I did a crazy hook for them, very blast inspired. But it was to the point I had people call me like, "Why you give that to them?" So that was fun. Yeah, I got that going on, and then I got a project on the way with Rich James, a 5-piece. That's on the way. That's Unk. He's going to be on some of the hooks that you've heard some of his from 16 and 304s and Rich James, and then I got another project coming with Cole, and me and Cole, we haven't done a project in a minute since 16304. So we both been on our dad mode. So yeah, shout out to him. He busts for another kid on another kid.
Oh yeah. So. Well, damn, it sounds like you've definitely got a lot cooking, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But now let's take a moment and let's zoom out. Let's like kind of look at music as a whole. What are some of the things that are and when I ask this, it can either be new music in general. So if you're one of those people who's listening to what's coming out right now, or just at the very least, new music to you. So stuff you found recently. What are some of the things about newer music that you like are finding inspiration from and you enjoy right now?
I still listen to R&B. I still listen to slow jams, stuff like that. I think as I mature more, I started just I want to relax more. I think that I pay to run away to the islands, you know what I'm saying? So like I love relaxation. I love to just withdraw from society. So slow jams kind of help out. Slow jams help out too with a lot of the relationships and stuff like that I be going through. So that when I'm getting on the mic, I can really have an in-thought conversation. A lot of people don't realize it, but music can really influence your emotions the way that you don't even think about it. You know, you sit there and listen to Shoot 'Em Up Gang Gang every day for the next 60 days. You're going to be walking around with a ski mask too, trying to figure out if you a thug or not. This is how it is culturally. So I try to remove myself away from a lot of that, and I try to listen to a lot of R&B, a lot of, something that's going to just put me in the right mood. Like I said, I listen to a lot of Blast and Beano too. So people say I got Beano vibes because I'm just real like laid back, like I'm always smoking, because I'm never really up there going hype anymore. Now I'm not there anymore. But yeah, mostly that. And then as far as new music though, I'm still a DJ, so I'm still tapped into everything that's going on in the clubs. I listen to a lot of Bay Area, Sacramento, LA specifically, a lot of Houston and Dallas going on right now. I'm in there. As far as Seattle, I listen to a few Seattle cats, like shout out to Toupe, that's my people. I listen to a lot of them, especially people from like, the Grimy Gorillas, the CDs, from the Hoovers and stuff like that. I be listening to them tough. So I'm still tapped in and listening to everything that's going on. And I listen to some Portland hip hop artists too. There's a lot of them here in Portland that need to hopefully get their name bigger, but I listen to a lot of them out here, and I'm still tapped in with a lot of the older Portland hip hop music too. I still listen to G-ism. You know what I mean? Like, this is an 80s group. I still listen to them, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, I love music. I listen to country music on my way here.
Okay.
I was like, we just listened to it. Somebody was telling me they want to take me on a rave and go see the Fish in a couple next year or something like that, because I just got back from their 4-day rave with them. So I'm like, yeah, I love music. Whatever it is, I love it. We gonna listen to it. I'm gonna be insightful, and that's where my inspiration comes from.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's cool that you can take the time to check out the new people that are still happening and all the places around you, but also just being willing to be open like this late into the game for like everything music related. I think that's how you stay growing in music. You know what I mean?
I tell you, I'm a financial person, and we're gonna say this like that. I'm a financial person. I made more money at raves than I made at hip hop concerts, and it's a vibe.
Yeah,
it's a vibe. Yeah, Day to Remember was one of my most favorite nights in the world. A Day to Remember concert, loved it. Best night of my life. Yeah, then became one of the biggest fans they ever had.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
After that, I was like, this was profitable, but their music was great.
Yeah, no, I dig that for sure. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. But before we move into the next part, I've got one last question to go in this middle portion. And this is probably the densest question in the interview.
Okay.
But we've talked a lot about, your experiences with music, the actions, the reactions. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Man, therapy. That's really what it is. It's therapy. When you a CEO in a way, I'm not saying I'm a multimillionaire, but we touched close to $1 million doing this here in Portland. When you touch that much money, a lot of the people that can comment on how you did it vanish based on how successful you keep getting. So who you talk to? And then you can't really talk to the therapist about it because half the stuff you did to get there ain't ethical. You know what I'm saying? So how do you process that? You know, and a lot of us, you know, my podcast that I have, we talk all the time about men's mental health. There's not a way for men, especially black men here in Portland, to really release what they got to say and be able to speak on it. One, because we're the smallest percentage of population in Portland, but two, because ain't a lot of funding and ain't really been spoken about on what men need to do with their mental health. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm able to get on the mic, whether it's being funny, and I'm saying, whether I'm saying something funny, I'm still saying something, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, one of my funniest songs I have is with PDX Queez talking about, you know, I'm clutch and pull, and it's a Mark Morrison remake, you know what I'm saying? But I'm clutch and pull in traffic because I got a mental issue right now where I think that if somebody comes up to me, it's life or death, you know what I'm saying? So whether it's funny or whether it's serious or whether it's about relationships, I'm finally able to express it on the mic and just get it out there before I self-enrage. And next thing you know, he could just be looking at me wrong and we squaring up, you know what I'm saying? And then after I'm in jail sitting down for, you know, a weekend trying to figure out, okay, when's bail? Yeah. Like, you're just sitting there like, was it worth the punch? Nah, I could have just went to the studio and just really spoke on what I really wanted to speak on. And on top of that too, I feel like nobody speaks on the success anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, some of these kids are making couple $100,000 off this. They're the ones that are successful, but they're still talking about, now I ride through the block and woo woo woo, and you know, I still told, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, okay, but damn, were we not successful in doing it? Were we not, like, where's the hey man, we sipping on, you know, the $200,000 bottles, you know, the shots $500 for the shot. I just bought 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't talking about like, hey, I just bought a Tesla and it's electric car. Like, that's my favorite. When I bought my second Tesla, I was like, I'm driving carless, right? I was in one of my verses, I said, I'm right in the verse on the way to the studio in the car's driving me. That really happened because I was excited to talk about it. Like, bro, we made it. And I used to have an ugly ass Honda Accord. My grandma had it. We had to put the stick in the wagon just to keep the trunk up. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I went from a Honda Accord to crashing a GLE 340 in the back of a semi to crashing a Tesla to having a BMW now to, I mean, man, ask my brother, man, we done crashed more foreigns than anything, man. I used to get pulled over here in 4th lane on a Mercedes CLS 550, all white with 26-inch rims. They hated me. Got rid of the car. Got rid of it. But it's like, nobody talks about like how fun it is once you make it. Yeah. They always want to talk about how hard they are. And yeah, if you put that energy out, somebody gonna check you. But what they gonna check when I say, hey man, I tell you, she gave head to somebody who had $240,000, you know, made $240 in that 2 years. Yeah. Like when I say she gave head $250,000 when she giving head, it's because I'm having fun. You can't check me on that. You know what I'm saying? You can check with the bank account, it's going to show, but like, you can't really check me and be like, oh, I'm going to fight you because you think you're harder than me. No, you can't fight me because I said I'm having fun because I'm become wealthy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or we made all these connects with all these rappers and stuff like that. And now I'm having phone conversations with your favorite rapper. Like, I get to have conversations with that. Like, that's something that's to be prideful of. And I feel like sometimes we forget the prideful, like, not even say prideful is justified, but like, we forget to congratulate ourselves and pat ourselves on the back. And that's where that 16s and 304s came from too, because I was just like, damn it, we done did this. Like, we did. I just turned 30, but damn, we just really did all this. Yeah, we weren't successful and made like 100,000 views on this, but man, who can really say what that? I mean, I spent $125,000 on just artists coming to Portland, shows, things, television networks, you know what I'm saying, coming to Portland, putting this together. You know, whether I was involved financially or was I involved with the equipment, whether I was involved in the DJing or whether I was involved just in general with the production, like, we did this. Like, be happy. Like, damn, like, why am I mad? My cousins, they ain't did this. My family, my older generation did this. You know what I'm saying? My great grandma came from credit card fraud, check fraud. To we ain't even got to do fraud no more, grandma. We made it. You know, my great grandma was like that. You know what I'm saying? We came from drug dealers and pimps to now LLC businesses. You know, paying taxes and not seeing a tax refund. So,
well, hey, that's a really powerful insight, man. I really appreciate you sharing that. I think that you touched on something really important, which is you're right. Like, there is not a lot of room in music right now for people to appreciate what they have.
Yeah.
And even to be allowed to. Like, I think right now the narrative kind of falls on that, where it's just like, you can't talk about, like, if you're happy, everybody's going to be upset at you.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, I grew up in Southeast Portland, 162nd and Burnside. I done seen the shootings. I could talk about the murder gang. I could talk about past. I say it all the time. I'm from my family from the foes. I done seen it. You feel me? So it's like, but if I go and rap like them, I'm just going to be blended in that mixture of everybody else that raps like them.
Well, then you're going to keep, like you said, you're going to keep that energy around you.
Yeah, and it's eventually going to get checked.
Yeah, and you know, manifesting is something that some people believe in fully and some people don't. But like to be able to speak it into your music is permanent. Once you press it, once it's out there, it exists.
It exists.
So by creating that energy for yourself there, it's a way that even when you like if you like fall off or you think back from it and you're not quite sure where you're at, you hear it again and you can remember that that's where you want to go.
I used to never think about energy until I started getting to a different occupation. And the women that were involved in that lifestyle, they would sage the house. They would make me go buy rocks and stuff like that, you know, quartz around the arm and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they used to believe in that to the point that I was like, if it's making money, it's making sense. So obviously we need to change our energy and stuff like that, because I was like, if I keep going this route, I mean, I'm going to bring some attention.
Yeah.
And I like being a dad. So.
Hell yeah. Well, hey man, thank you so much for that answer. I really enjoyed that. But now let's go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions.
Yeah.
And for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But this first one's pretty straightforward, and I'm really excited to hear your answer on this first one. Okay. But if you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive.
Okay.
Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
That's tough. Cause I worked with a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
a lot of good artists.
Made so much happen. Like, who is up there that you haven't gotten to connect with yet?
Rick Ross.
Okay.
Rick Ross. I like, not for his financial, because I you know, he is a multi-billionaire, you know, millionaire at this point. Not just, he makes the type of vibe that I've always enjoyed since a child. And he's also very universal with it. I've heard him on Afrobeat music. I've heard him on hip hop. I've heard him on R&B. So he's very universal on how he talks. How he did the blast verse made me realize that he can do West Coast. Yeah. And I know me, if I'm not doing specifically the West Coast type of feel, I have to bounce out my element. I'm not all the way there yet. Like, I could do some trap, like you said. I started trap R&B type of vibe, so I can do it. But I just have more of an appeal, more of a connection to just how the synths are, the West Coast sound is, and stuff like that. And I think Rick Ross would be like a smooth, and I think he has an ear for it. I mean, and on top of that too, I would like to have the conversation. Yeah. I mean, Dream Chasers was big for me growing up.
Well, like, I imagine even his like if he was directing you on hearing you do it and then being like, oh, if you try it this way with your sound.
Oh yeah, I would take it.
Like, that insight would be incredible. Yeah.
Because I mean, like, for me growing up, and I used to stay in Tampa for a little bit too. So for me growing up, Rick Ross was big. The Dream Chasers was big, you know, Meek Mill and Wale. And I love Wale's poetry. I don't know if you can hear it sometimes, but in the 16 and 304s, I really try to channel some type of like Wale poetry. When I was talking about, like, on my phone, I was really trying to go into my Wale bag when I was talking about Picasso, you know, and everything like that. So, I mean, I just like that genre was something that, not that genre, but that timeline for me was really big. And that and E40, of course. E40 is always top notch for me. I mean, that's damn near family right there for me. Like, I think of that man as like family right there. Like, anytime I met bro a couple times, but anytime he won, man, that's man. You come tap in.
Man, that's a name I just wish got more reference on this show in general from other people.
Man,
do you just put more work in than so many people? And
I couldn't even be a DJ without. Most of the concerts I've DJ come out of a E40 camp or or something that happened because of E40's camp. You know what I'm saying? Like my first concert I ever threw by myself with Twin was a Neff DeFaro and Lil Blood show. You know what I'm saying? Neff at the time I think was signed to E40. Lil Blood at the time was signed to Livewire. And Jay Stalin's one of my favorite rappers too. I got 2 songs with him. So it was just like I always connected with the Bay and the Sac, and so E40 was like one of the big Droopy too. I love his son. One of my favorite songs comes from his son. And so it's like I've always like E40 has always been top notch to me. Like I think he's one of the best rappers to ever come out the West Coast. I think he should be on Mount Rushmore more in that conversation. Him and Ice Cube should definitely be on a Mount Rushmore conversation more. I just don't think they get to look at, and that's because he went independent route, you know what I'm saying? So independent route is something, you know, that don't get looked at because the numbers are different. Statistically, though, I think he's right there next to Jay-Z. And a lot of people can fight me on that, but I'm just going to say.
No, I'm right there with you. I have nothing but mad respect for him. And I grew up in the Bay Area. So, like, he was a household name. Okay, I'm right outside of San Jose in a little place called Sunnyvale.
You know what? Every time I tell somebody, I'm like, look, anytime I travel to the Bay, I stay in San Jose.
Yeah. And then this next one, I'm even more curious to know the answer to this one. But subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
We already in conversations about it, but Taylor Vell.
Okay.
Taylor Vell, yeah. We already, but that's family. That's cool. Me and him people, you know what I'm saying? We done a lot of shows together. Shout out to Fetty Mac. You know, they had a couple songs together that I've been able to DJ for. Taylor Vell, I've sent him a song or two, and we just need to just make it connect. But bro killing the R&B game right now, the hip hop R&B. I love how he's able to translate some of his music to me as classics. Him, J.R. Patton too. He's cool. I like how he did Dirty Diana. That was a cool little remake. I like that as well. Yeah, man. You know, there's a bunch, man. There's a bunch of them. I be seeing a lot of people out here doing their stuff. There's people that even connected to my team, like D Money, bro. I would love to do a song with D Money. He's good people. I like him. Yeah, even people like I haven't met yet. They probably don't even know I'm on their radar. Baby Squeeze, bro. Fuck with that bro's music. And that's politics right there, but I fuck with bro's music. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, that's a solid. Hey, everybody, at all of them in the comments. Let's see if we can make that happen quick.
Yeah. But y'all don't know I listen to them, but I'll be listening, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's controversial right there. That's gonna get me in trouble. But
well, you didn't hear it from me.
Yeah.
And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense.
Yeah.
But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power. There's guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere.
No, Pioneer Square.
Boom. You just have that on lock.
On God. I'm trying to make it happen as we speak.
Okay.
I would love for either a birthday festival or the anniversary of the label being born. I would love to, and some of my people that have been a part of BPF have started their own festivals and been successful. Shout out to JJ for doing his Jug Fest. But yeah, one of my visions is to bring hip hop to Pioneer Square. I know the history of Portland hip hop a lot more than a lot of younger people do. I've seen it. I was there when Mikey Vegas got his concert shut down by the police. I was there when Gang Task showed up to shut down a few of my concerts. So I witnessed it, and I witnessed how they overlook it. And I think some of the politics too with some of the award shows that go on, they're very, very much biased in a way. And I wish that they, but it's how it is. It's how they made things. So I feel like if I'm able to put on a good event, Pioneer Square, have a real hip hop day, bring out of town that gonna make hundreds of thousands of people show up, but also just really give a significant amount of that time towards local hip hop and just giving them a good view. There's a lot of Portland hip hop artists out here that have either went to LA to get support or have came back and have good support that need to be looked at. Fredo, HS Dro, Three-Way Hef, a bunch of them that are really making their name out there. I just wish that we had a bigger platform to give y'all so that it could be categorize that this is really what Portland hip hop is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's even Eugene hip hop, but like this is what Oregon hip hop is, and this is how we can finally make our own Thizzler, make our own No Jumper from from Portland. I wish that could happen a lot more, to the point that and I see him doing a shout out to Real Portland 503, shout out to Rip City Heroes, but I just wish that there was a platform online that also registered as an event, and we could just make this type of situation happen. And I feel like Pioneer Square would be an historical moment for Portland hip hop, and I would love to see that happen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely looking forward to it when you make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
Oh, that's tough. Damn, that is tough. Oh man. Tay Money. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tay Money, man. You got your life taken way too quickly, bro. Yeah, you don't even know what you influenced. I feel like in a way. Yeah, man. I wish I could get one more from him. That was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be it in Seattle.
Oh, yeah. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and March?
Oh, yeah. March is my birthday, so you already know it's going to be a crazy concert, as we always do.
Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Last year, we every year I throw a crazy birthday. The last 2 years was Yabby and Toupaid. They sold out. We're probably going to do another stripper party again like that, like we always do. But so look forward to more concerts. February, we're going to have a concert as well. That's to be announced. So we have a little function that we're getting ready for. Look out for new music. From me, at the end of October, early November, you'll start seeing a couple of videos pop up. You'll start hearing new music from me as well. Bust Down Fredo and PDX Queese just dropped a new song as well with another Seattle artist as well. So stay on the lookout for that. Please run our views up. Subscribe. You feel me? Black Pioneers all the way. Bust Down Fredo got a couple in the jar that he's releasing. Jay Mula just dropped a couple things as well. PDX Queese is dropping damn near weekly. So, but man, yeah, we look on. I'm doing my CEO thing, so we still knocking out bangers, and we still doing a couple auditions too. A couple more TV shows are about to be doing a couple placements with us as well. So, you'll see me on TV soon again.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man.
Hey, definitely looking forward to all of that.
Yeah.
For this next one, go and look straight at the camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Man, you can find me on Instagram, 94prynce. As simple it is. A Y with no I. You feel me? 94prynce. Find me on IG. Find me on Facebook. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music. Hit me. I don't play that game. I'll text back. Feel me? So tap in.
Oh yeah. And then you've already shouted out a million people, but any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on?
Hey, shout out Swiggle Mandel, La Familia. You're always welcome. That's family, that's home. I got a couple songs with his brother as well. So I got both of the brothers in there. You feel me? Shout out to La Familia. Since day one, you've been in the game. Shout out to Champagne James. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be in the scenario that I am, being able to speak on how I speak without Champagne. So shout out to him and the Aviators and everything, and the Rose Gold movement, all that he got going on. And shout out to Tabio J, of course, because I can't say Champagne without Tabio. They'll get on me. But yeah, shout out to Macmillian on Everything XL. Rich James, shout out to him as well. BP, Black Pioneers, you already know. So Cole, Maki, Rose Gold, J Mula, Bust Down Frameville, MLB, Quino, you already know it's love. Yeah, man. Shout out to Sharista too, before I forget, because I know she's gonna watch this and cuss my ass out. But yeah, shout out to her and the team as well, man. And shout out to Diamond Gang Zay, that's family. Shout out to the whole Diamond Gang movement as well. Yeah, put a couple bread in a couple people's pockets here in Portland with his shows. So yeah, man. And lastly, shout out to Twin and everybody from Livewire, everybody that then came out from Sick With It, that supported us and pushed the movement, helped us get in contact with other people, to even start booking artists and putting on shows and properly getting money out of it, and teaching us the game, man, for real, what it is. Because you fed 6 people who got kids. You feel me? And from there, we've been able to spread the word. Like we don't politic when it comes to teaching everybody the game based on how everybody showed us the game. So shout out to everybody I just mentioned and everybody more too. I know there's a lot more I could say, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that is a solid list.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, we've got one last question to go. But before we do, I'm gonna steal the camera for just a second.
Go right ahead.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. With that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But in all of music, what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Oh, man. That's tough. Locally, Cool Nuts, whatever album that it was, the Portland Life, whatever album that was, where he starts out, he says, a Portland Life, something, nigga give, oh man, I forget the words. Cool Nuts, Portland Life, whatever album that is, that and Baseball Numbers, bro, you gotta listen to that. But if you listen to Cool Nuts, 76 Nova, Portland Life was on there, that was Portland. I feel like that was Portland in the 90s, the 80s. That's what my grandmothers, my aunties, my uncles, that's what they knew. You know what I'm saying? We knew the culture. That's what we knew. So locally, Cool Nuts, whatever album 76 Novas and Portland Life is on. That was it. G-isms on there too. Maniac Loc, you know what I'm saying? You got some legends on there. So whatever that is. Damn, because I want to say Mikey Vegas too. Mikey Vegas and Flyboy were killing their shit, man. Locally that. Outside of locally, man, damn, I want to say, and I'm forgetting bro's name now. It's coming to me. It's King something. Big Crig. Whatever album he had that included, whether it was a mixtape album or album, whichever one included 2 Chainz and MJB, and where he says, "Is it me or is it something about a car that could make a bad bitch get?" Oh man, yeah. Oh man, but it was cool. It was a cool album, and I'm forgetting it off the top of my head because I'm a music fanatic. But Big Crig got an album with 2 Chainz, MJB. Oh, it go crazy. 2 Chainz had the best 25 bar. Like it was a bar about just the number 25. 25 lighters, 25 Bibles. Went to jail and spent the night with a 25 to lifer. Stayed in sub, bro. It was crazy. Yeah, that was the best one. That's underrated of all time. I'm a big hip hop head on that. And Ebonics, Big L.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Damn it. Those are all super solid recs. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we're going to go and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you even having me.
Hell yeah. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm 94prynce.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. This is a show. Keep jamming.